here's your Hebrew vowels. Pretty straightforward. A, E, I, O, U. Familiar, huh? Same stuff, the same vowels. No difference. There's long and short form of them, which we'll get into in a minute. There's a long A, short A, long E, short E, long I, short I. There's an I, I. There's an A and an E. There's long, short form of them, but they're the same particular vowels that you're familiar with, so no difference in their pronunciation. Very familiar sounding vowels used to connect the words. You have your A, E, I, O, U. How do you write them? Here we go. Stop, breathe. Take a big breath. Here we go. Hebrew vowels. Again, I apologize. This is the painful part. This is painful because it's weird looking things that you've never seen before. We're going to build upon from our consonants, 22 of them, to our vowels. Number one, you have your A sound. It's called the patah. How do you form a patah? The patah is simply a line. Notice that I've got your consonant in green, a vowel in orange. Just helps to make them color coordinated. So green, and I just chose randomly. There's nothing specific to this. I chose the bet. The bet with the dagashlene with the dot in it, so it's a B sound. Bet. So that's just there for reference. You can put any consonant you want here. It makes no difference. But notice your vowel is just simply a line beneath that. That is your patah, and it is a sound as in bad. So it's A, but as in bad. Bad. That's the A sound. You also have the long A sound called the comets. Your comets, same consonant, and I'm going to use the B the whole way. The bet's going to be the whole way, by the way. I'm not going to change your consonant just for consistency. So underneath this bet, you have the comets, which looks like a T. So notice your patah is just a line. Your comets, it's a line with a stem going down from it. It's like a T. That T is your long A sound is father. So you have your patah, bad. Your long A, father. So short A, long A. Moving on. You have your E sound. Same way you've got a short E and a long E. In your short E, you have what's called the segol. Your segol, if you look very closely, underneath your consonant, your bet, are 3 dots. If you've got 3 dots, that is your short E is in lead. Lead. If you want your long E, that's your sire. Your sire is 2 dots. That's E is in obey. A. So you have a long E, that's your sire. Your short E, your segol. 3 dots, short E, 2 dots, long E. Breathe. Stop for a moment. It's a lot to throw at you. Give yourself a second. Let me go back and review. So far, I've given you your A, and I've given you your E. What's your A? Long and short form. Your short A is a line. Your long A looks like a T. Your short E looks like 3 dots. Your long E is 2 dots. But I've got a bit of a wild card for you. Here comes your curveball. Sometimes, when, depends upon the spelling what the Masoretes wanted to do. Sometimes your sire can have a yod attached to it. And if it does, the yod becomes silent. So how does that work? Pause. Remember I told you there were 3 letters. And only 3 letters that sometimes act like vowels, placeholders. Not always, they do have pronunciation. But depending on the word, they can go silent. And the way they're being spelled is just to tell you that there's a vowel that should be there. What are the 3 letters that can act as vowel placeholders? The he, the vav, and the yod. That's the sire yod. It's a sire, pronunciation is the same, it's still your long E, but just the spelling is a little different. No difference in pronunciation, variation only in spelling. You have a yod that pops in there, and it sounds the same, but it's the sire yod where the yod is silent. How do you know if it's a yod to be pronounced or the sire yod? If the yod follows the two dots of the sire, it's silent. If you've got that little yod, that little comma, sitting after a consonant, but there's the two dots of the sire beneath the consonant before it, silent yod, that's a sire yod. It's just pronounced as a long E sound. So you have your short E, sigol, 3 dots. Long E, 2 dots, that's your sire. But if there happens to be a yod, the ya, Y sound after the consonant, it's silent. That's just called a sire yod. Let's move on. You have your I sound. You have a short and you have a long I sound. So the short I sound is called the herek. 1 dot. 1 dot, short I. I is in hid. It's your short I sound. If you have a yod after it, this changes it to the herek yod. That actually alters its pronunciation in this case. So if you've got the dot and the consonant yod is after the letter with the dot under it, the yod becomes silent. There's no pronunciation. It becomes a placeholder for a vowel. It's telling you in the spelling originally that there's a vowel in that spot. Mind you, the Masoretes added the vowel for us. We don't have to guess. But it gets the little hirek right there. But because it's a hirek yod, it's no longer pronounced as a e, is in hid. It's pronounced as an I, as in Christine. In, e, e, e. So it's got that long I sound. Short I, hid, hirek. Long I, hirek yod. When the yod is after the hirek, it's a long one. And then you have your chametz hatuf. I probably should have put that up actually in the upper part, but here's where there is a bit of a quirk. I apologize because I hate exceptions to rules. If the chametz begins a sentence, then it does not sound like an it sounds like an o. Same exact letter, by the way. I hate that part. Looks identical, seems identical, but depending on its placement in the sentence, it changes from a long A sound. Remember that your chametz is a long A as in father, but depending on its placement, it changes from a long A, it's the chametz hatuf, it changes to an O sound as in most. It's one of 2 possible O sounds, because you also have what's called the full holum. So you have the chametz hatuf, full holum, which by the way is more common. I like more common. So if it's the chametz hatuf, what you have here is the full holum. If you have a vav with a dot over it, that's your long O sound as well. So let me repeat that. If your chametz hatuf is not, let's see if we can give an example of this, and I want you to see it. Where do I have a chametz hatuf? Always the word all. Right here. Okay. Notice the word here. That's what I want you to see. This is the chametz that I'm talking about. It's the kaf and the lamed. So the two letters here, hopefully you can zoom in on your screen. Get your iPhones and zoom in. And if you're far from your screen on the computer, get your eyeballs as close to the screen as you can get. Try to get this as close as I can. Let's see if I can blow this up even a little more for you. I'll take a snapshot of this. This is the Hebrew word for all. There it goes. This is the word for all. Now, if I blow this up, I want you to see that there's 2 letters. You have the kaf, which is the K sound, and the lamed, which is an L sound. So, KL, that's our consonants, KL. What is our vowel marker? We'll go back. Our vowel marker seems to be, if you were to look at it, the chametz. So I'm looking, I go, okay, there's my little T. Got my T beneath my letter. So I got my T beneath my consonant. So you might want to say that this is pronounced kal. K-A-L. What it looks like, right? You have the cough, you have the comments, and you have the lamed. Kal. Makes sense. But it's not. Because it is the first letter of the word, it becomes the comments hatuf. So if your word begins with, if the first letter of the sentence is a comets, it's not pronounced as an A, it's pronounced as an O. So how do you pronounce this word? Not kal, kol. That's your comets hatuf. A little bit of a quirk. Apologize. I hate exceptions to rules because they make things harder. But that comments, that little T, that little notation, that grammatic vowel marker that the Masoretes put, if it's under the first letter of a word, it alters its pronunciation. It no longer has the A sound. It has the O sound. That's the comments hatuf. But you also have the full holum. The full holum also is your O sound. How does the full holum work? If there's a dot over the next letter, that's a vav, then it's silent. So the full holum is the vav takes on a silent nature. Remember, we told you there are 3 letters that can act silent in Hebrew depending upon the word. The he, the vav, and the yod. In the case of the full holum, the vav becomes silent. It becomes a vowel placeholder, but the dot over that vav tells you it's an O sound. Now you also have what's called the defective holum. These are also very common. Both of these you're going to find. The defective holum is probably more common than the full holum. The defective holum just means there's a dot over the next consonant, whatever it is. It's not the vav. It's just whatever letter comes next. If there's a dot over that letter, then it's just the full holum is pronounced as an O. And we'll show you this, don't worry. We just want you to kind of lay it out for you. So 3 ways you can get an O. How do you get an O sound? If it's the first letter of the word and it's got the comments, that's an O sound. If it's got a vav with a dot over it, that's an O sound. If you just got a dot over the next letter, that's also an O sound. The 3 ways to make the O sound, pretty much identical. They're all that long O. Now, that being said, the last consonant, vowel, is your U sound. You've got an A, E, I, O, onto U. What's the U sound? There are 2 of them. There is the long U sound is in pull, ul. And that's 3 dots, but at an angle. If you have 3 dots coming down at an angle, that's the long U sound. If you've got a vav placeholder with a dot not on top, but in the center, that is your long U sound, is in fruit, oot. Short U, pull, ul, is your kibbutz, 3 dots. Long U is your dot following a vav. That's you're going to be long U, oo sound. So, review. Let's go back and take a look. We've got our A, I, O, U. Got your very common, very familiar vowel sounds in the Hebrew language. How are they formed? By long and short vowel sounds. So each vowel has a long form and a short form. So what's your short form of the A sound? Your patah is just a line underneath your consonant, whatever that consonant is. And here it's the bet, but it can be whatever consonant. What's your long A sound? Is in father. Looks like a T below your consonant. What's your short E sound? That's your sigol, 3 dots, but in kind of an upside down pyramid. That's your short E sound is in lead. What's your long E sound? 2 dots. 2 dots, the sire, is your long E is in obey. But it can also be a sire yod. Same pronunciation, no difference. Just sometimes the yod will be there, and if the yod follows the 2 dots of a sire, it's silent. The yod you do not pronounce. Move on. You've got your short I sound, is in hid. That's your hirik. Your hirik is formed by a single dot underneath your consonant. But if you add a yod after that consonant, it's the hirik yod, and it takes on the long sound. Christine, in, I, long I sound. That's your Hirik yod. You get the little yod after that dot, it's your long I. You have O, 3 ways to make O. Your short O is the kamatz hatuf. It looks just like the A, the long A, but if it's the first letter of a word, it becomes your short O, as in most, ost. But then you have your long O, which is your full holum. It can either be formed with a vav and a dot over it, or it can just have a dot over the next consonant. Both have the same pronunciation, just one of them has the vav silent, one of them does not, but it's a long O as in toe, o. And then finally you have your short U, which is your kibbutz, 3 dots in a line. Then you have your long U, which is going to be your vav with a dot in the middle of the vav. That's your long U as in fruit. Long and short form, A-E-I-O-U. All done by these dots and dashes that were put in by the Masoretes to help us pronounce what Hebrew doesn't have, which is markers for their vowels. Questions? Just threw a lot at you. Giving you a lot to look at. I know it's overwhelming, but do you have any questions? Give me the thumbs up to let me know you still got air in your lungs, that you're still conscious. Who's here is still conscious? Who's still breathing? Good? Yeah. Chetty, I totally understand, Chetty. This is expected right now, so that you know. Overwhelmed is where I think you should be right now. Completely like my head hurts right now is normal. I'm not surprised by that, not shocked by that. This is the fear factor of Hebrew. This is why most people, if you are going to quit, this is when you do so. Because you're looking at this going, this isn't a nosebleed, this is a fountain. I have a fountain coming out of my nose right now. This is unbelievably difficult. It's just because it's so foreign. It's not hard, it's just not familiar. So we need to make it familiar so it stops being hard. How do you make it familiar? Practice. This is why what we're going to be doing, the homework I'm going to be giving you this week, is the same homework I gave you last week, though I will add a bit to it. I want you to write down consonants again. Why am I having you write down consonants again? So that you become familiar and not intimidated by them. I'm going to add to that, you're going to write down your vowels. Oh, vowels as well? Yeah, vowels as well. So that you're not intimidated by your vowels. I'm not as concerned if you memorize their meanings. I don't need you to be able to look at the comets and go, that's a comets. I just need to look at that and go, I know that's an A sound. Whether you memorize the names or not, I'm not as concerned about. We're not a Hebrew class. We're not going to have a Hebrew test at some point in time. You don't have to memorize the terms behind these words. If you want to, God bless you. If you want to write the word comets over your vowel marker, go for it. If that helps you, God bless you. But what I want you to be able to do is not be intimidated by seeing that. I want you to be able to look at a word like this here and say, I know that's a cough, comets, lamed. Now, if you want to say that's a C-A-L, I don't care. Hopefully you remember that's a C-O-L because it's the first comets hatuf. It's the first comets of a letter. Once it begins a word, it changes its pronunciation. But hopefully remember that's a C-O-L so that you can be less intimidated by it. Even if you don't remember that, simply having a grasp of it is going to make these letters not scary. Because here's the dilemma right now, okay? If I let you see this top line here, if I say, look at that, if I zoom in on that, you are terrified. Why? It just looks so foreign. It looks so different. And so you don't want to be able to grasp it. And that's why we want you to be able to become familiar with it so it's not intimidating. Are you going to be able to get to the point where you can look at that and go, I can read that? Maybe. Just so you know that's not out of reach. Can you come to a place where you can look at that line and say, Barashit bara Elohim eth hamashayim va'eth haaretz? Maybe. Is that required? No. At least not to be scared of it is what we're after. If you can get to the place where you can pronounce it, so much the better. Because then you're really not scared of it. And that's going to help you with your Hebrew so that it's not intimidating to you. That's our whole goal. That's what we're after right now. Don't be scared by the letters. Right now you're scared, practice. Write them down over and over again till they become familiar to you. That being said, let's get into putting it together. We're going to practice a bit. If you've got no questions, does anybody have questions at this point? Give you a bit of an opportunity if you got them. If you're raising your hand, something you're unsure of, something that's stirring in your heart, we like questions if you got them. So far, so good? So far, so difficult? Probably more the case. What we want to do is this. We're going to go through in class right now an exercise. I'm going to give you some examples of words and we're going to read them together. I'm going to start you reading Hebrew. I'm going to read them with you. So you and I are going to work on it together. We're going to read some Hebrew together. I'm going to read some words. What's your homework going to be? You're going to work on, and I'm going to hand this to you, exercise 2. So we're going to go through today, exercise 1. We're going to read through some of these words, not all of them. We're going to go through some of these words. What's exercise 2? You're going to do it. I want you to write your Hebrew letters next week and then start. There's a bunch here. There's actually, all in all, 50. Do you have to do all 50? No. I'd be happy if you did 10. But you're welcome to do 50 if you'd like to. But I want you to take these and I want you to write what it would sound like in English. So you're going to look at this word right here. That's your homework. Whew, get ready. Here we go. And you have to look at that and go, how would that be written in English? God bless you. This is what we're going to work on. So I'm going to do it with you right now. And we're going to go over some of these words. Practicing reading our consonants and our vowels. Your homework's going to be, you get to read Hebrew and write in English what you think it should sound like. Aha, here's the fun part. All right, here we go. Our first word is going to be Aleph, Bet, Dalet. So we have 3 consonants. So notice right here, and so you're going to break it down, and this is how you're going to do it. This is why you may only get 10 of these on your own. Do I think you're going to be able to look at that and know that right away? No. Quite frankly, no. Chances are right now you cannot just look at that and go, I remember that's an Aleph, a Bet, and a Dalet. You're not going to remember that. But what can you do? You can scroll up here and go, what letters that look like? Oh, okay, that's the Aleph. Okay, that's a silent one. What does that next letter look like? Oh, that's the Bet. Okay, that's the B. What's the next letter look like? That's the Dalet. Okay, very good. You're going to have to probably go through letter by letter and hunt down your pronunciation. That's okay. No problem. That's what we want you to do. This is going to be what gets you into looking, recognizing, and being able to not be intimidated by Hebrew. Letter by letter, work your way through, figure out what's each letter. If I go through and I go, okay, what are the letters? Well, I know that's an Aleph, Bet, and Dalet. That's telling me the consonants. What's that not telling me? The vowels. So I got to look at what are my vowels. Okay? Number 1, I got a dot. I've got a dot sitting over a letter. What's a dot sitting over a letter? If I go back here, I know what that is. That's called, let's take a look, dot over a letter. Yeah, okay. Well, that's going to be looking through. What do we see? It's not a patah, not a comets, not a segol, not a sire, it's not a sire yod, it's not a hirik, it's not a hirik yod. No, those are dots over a letter. It's not a comets at tuf. Wait a minute. Is it a full holum? No, there's no vav. Is it a defective holum? Well, that's probably the closest, so maybe. Let's take a look. So a dot over it, I'd say that's the letter O. Why is it the letter O? Because that's the only one that has a dot sitting over a letter. Okay, that must be the defective holum. Good, moving on. What else do I have for a vowel marker? I got 2 dots beneath the letter. Let's go back and take a look. Where do I have 2 dots? Is it the patah? No, that's a line. Is it the comets? No, that's a T. Is it the segol? No, that's 3 dots. Stop. 2 dots. What's the 2 dots? The sire is in a long E, obey. So I go back here. I have an O. Remember, the Aleph is silent. I have a B, the bet. I have the sire, the long E, and I have the D. How would you pronounce that? Anybody want to guess? I'm curious. I want to hear someone pronounce it for me. Give me a vocalization. Someone be bold. Pronounce that for me. How do you pronounce a defective holum? O. Bet, sire, long E, and then the delayed. How do you pronounce that?
Obeyed.
Very close. You would say Oved. Oved? Why did I use a V rather than a B? It would be Oved. We would say in English, this would be Obed, would be how we would pronounce it in English, but the actual Hebrew would be Oved. Why? Do you remember why? Remember the dot. This is what I want to start to get you trained in. No dot.
No dot.
If you have no dot, the bet has a V sound, not a B sound. So how would you pronounce this? Oved. Oved is the pronunciation. So you're reading it. You have the defective holum. That's an O. Aleph is silent. It's a placeholder. It doesn't have any pronunciation. Next, remember you read right to left. It's important to remember that. Hebrew's in reverse. We start here with the Aleph. Move on up to the defective holum. O. Vet, because there's no dot. Sire, long E, dalit. Oved. That is the Hebrew word Oved. Let's move on. Similar, very similar, to help you out, letters that are not so unfamiliar to you, hopefully at this point. Your first letter is what? I'm going to ask questions now. I'm going to see who knows. What's that first letter? Who can tell me?
Aleph.
That is the Aleph. First letter of the Hebrew language. You have your Aleph. Stick to the consonants for right now. We'll go back to the vowels. What's your next letter? I had this before. We just had this the previous word.
Bet.
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 That is the bet. Although, is there a dot?
No.
No dagesh lene. What does it mean? What's the pronunciation of that bet then?
V.
It's a V sound. Now, tricky. Oh, we're getting tricky. What's this last letter?
CH.
Good guess. It's tricky because remember,
CH.
you have the final form.
Final shaft. It's a grab.
What's the
Final shaft.
What's the final form if you've got a long stem? Let's go back up here to our letters. Okay, we'll go back in here. You have a little tricky to read this because it looks similar. You can say the final chaf, the final kaf. But what looks similar, because mind you, that kaf has got a bit of a longer stem on the top. What has a shorter stem?
A V. A V. Vav.
The vav has it, but remember, this is long. It's the final form because it's the last letter of the word. So it's the very last letter. Do you see? Now, here what I want you to see. This is the catch. And again, this is what we're getting used to. Notice that if you draw a line here, this letter goes below the line. It's a very short stop on the top. It's not a long end because the long would be the kaf. If it had a long stem on the top, that would be the ch, the kaf sound. But it's got a short stem but a long leg. What does that look like? The what? Give it to me.
Resh literal.
The resh again, but the resh is going to stop at the line. The resh is not going to go all the way down. This is long. You want to find a letter that's what is it?
A final non. N-U-N?
There it is. It is the noon.
Noon.
It is your final form of the noon. Do you see how that has a short top, but it goes down long? If you're short top, but you go down long, that's the noon. So you've got an N. So, okay, we got it here. Here's our consonants. We've got our consonants down. Aleph, vet, because it's no dot, so it's the V sound, noon. So our three letters are Aleph, vet, noon. Now we need to look at what are our vowels. Let's go back up and check up our vowels. What vowel does that look like? Is it the patah? No. Comments? No. Oops, wait, stop. What does it look like? It's a segoa. 3 dots below the letter, that is your E sound. Is it going to be your short E or your long E? That's the short E. Your long E is the sire. So that's an as in lead. So let's go ahead and read it then. How would you pronounce this? Who wants to go for it? If that is an aleph, and that is then, you're going to be sigol, aleph, sigol, vet, sigol, nun. How do you pronounce it?
Reben.
Exactly. Even. Even. Because the aleph is silent, so it's just even. Even. Pretty straightforward. Oh, this is a great word. This is a good word in Hebrew. Moving on. Let's give you another one. Who wants to give me those letters? What's the first letter? Not all at once.
Aleph.
That is the aleph again.
Aleph.
That is your aleph,
Aleph.
which is silent. It's a placeholder. It has no pronunciation. What's your next letter? What's the second one?
Dalet.
That is the dalet. Very good. Remember that the way you can tell the dalet from the resh, they're very similar looking, but the dalet has the hard right angle. So that is absolutely the dalet. What's your third letter?
Vav.
That is the vav. You can tell because it has that very short, there's no, it stops. So it doesn't go beyond. It's not a final form because the third and the fourth letter look very similar, but the vav stops at that imaginary line that is your, if you will, your lettering line which your letters sit upon. The final form will drop below that line. Your regular letters don't. So that is the vav. What's your final letter?
The nun. Final nun.
That is the final nun again. You can tell because it's got the little stem, but it's got that long arm on it that goes all the way down. So this is a long point there goes below that drops below the writing line there. So you have the aleph, dalet, vav, nun. Let's go back and look at your vowels. Your vowels, by the way, this gets fun. Okay. What's your first vowel? Is it the patah? No. Is it the comma? Is it the comets? It's a trick question, by the way. Is that the comets? What do you think?
Looks like it.
Looks like it. But remember, there's a quirk. What's the quirk? If the comets is the first letter of the word, what happens to it? It becomes the comets hatuf. As long as, much like the word kol, as long as it's the first vowel of the word, then it changes. It's no longer an A sound. What sound does it produce?
Oh.
Adonai. Adon. More of an O sound to it. So it's a comets hatuf, and then you have this dot over the vav. What is the dot over the vav? Let's take a look. Let's go through our vowels. Not a patah. That's a line below. It's not the comets. That's the T below. It's not the sigol. That's the 3 dots. Not the sire. That's 2 dots. Not the sire yod for sure. It's not the hirik. That's 1 dot. Or the hirik yod. It's not the comets hatuf. That was previously. Stop. What do you see there? What letter is the vowel here?
Full Holland. I'm lost.
You've got a
Letter
vav.
O. O.
It is the
Cholam.
It is the full holon.
Not cholam. Letter O.
It's the letter O because you've got the vav with a dot over it. Let's go back down to our word. Here you have your word. A vav with a dot over it. Go back up here. You have a vav with a dot over it. That's the full holon. So what's your pronunciation of that? O. So say it for me. If that's the aleph, comets hatuf, dalet, full holon, final form of the nun, how would you pronounce that word?
Adon.
Adon. Yep, Adon.
Adon.
Which is where you get the word by the word Adonai. Have you ever heard the word Adonai?
Uh-huh.
Adonai means Lord. That's what that is. Adonai. Same root. Okay. Here we go. Moving on. Again, the way you do this, it's to say painful probably is an understatement. It's like, oh, this is not easy. But the more you do it, it's like, oh, I'm starting to get familiar. Ever so slightly. You look at a letter now and you're going, I know that letter. The other ones maybe not, but I know that one letter. Amat-amat na lang. Tanan-tanan sila. Familiar na. That's how this works. Is you build the familiarity one letter at a time, one vowel at a time, one consonant at a time, until it becomes something where you can go, I know what that is. Okay. First letter, what is it?
Aleph. Aleph.
That's the Aleph. Very straightforward. Now let's stick to the consonants for the first moment. We'll go back to the vowels. What's the second consonant?
Yod. A yod.
That is a yod. Yep, that's your little comma. That's the smallest of the Hebrew letters. That's a yod. So Aleph, yod. And then we've seen this before. What's that final letter?
Nun.
That's the final nun. So you have Aleph, yod, final nun. Okay, let's go back into look at our vowels. We've got two of them. We've got a dash below the Aleph, and we've got a dot below the yod. So let's take a look. What's our dash? That's your short A as in bad. So that's right from pata. That's your short A. So we now got a short A sound there. That's pretty straightforward. Easy enough. How about the dot? A dot below a consonant. Let's take a look. Pata. The comments. Not a sigol. That's 3 dots. Series 2 dots. Woo! Stop. There's a dot below a letter. Interesting. What's a dot below a letter?
Shirek. Shirek little E. E.
It's a hirik. It's a short I. So how would you pronounce this if it's an Aleph? And then you've got next your pata. And then you go in and you've got your yod. And then you've got your short I sound, which is your hirik. And then you have your noon. How would you pronounce that?
Ayin.
Ayin. Exactly right. That is ayin. Okay. Moving on. Give you a new letter. A couple new letters here, by the way. Kind of fun ones. So, what's your first letter?
A bet.
That is the bet.
Bet
Now,
with a dot.
but you got the dot, which means how is it pronounced?
B.
B. Basta may dot in the bet, it's a strong B sound. No dot, V. With a dot, B. Bet. So let's keep moving. Stick to your consonants. This is a new one we haven't seen before in our letters here. What is that next letter?
Shin?
Good guess. It does look somewhat like a shin, but no. Keep looking. See what else you can find. Let's go back up to our letters here. Let's take a look. So your shin is a little bit more like a W look to it. That's not a W. What does that look like?
No idea.
So you can guess it. If you're really confused, you could always look at the English and get a clue. There's an English transliteration right next to it.
A tet.
It is a tet. That is the tet. Yep.
Little T.
That is a T
Little
sound.
T.
That is the T sound for the tet. Now, mind you, like up here, if you look at the tet in this, like with any particular font you might have, Hebrew has font styles. And that font styles mean there's slight variations between their appearances. So if you look at this, that tet looks different than the tet here because it's a little more cursive-y and the one down below, but yet fundamentally still the same letter. That's still going to be your tet. It's got the little, almost like a U, but a little, almost squared off like a U with a little lip coming on into it. That's the tet. You know, mind you, if you were to do that with cursive, That's your cursive tet.
Yeah. Looks closer to the cursive.
So it just depends upon the particular font style, but that's your cursive tet. So that's your tet. So your letters right now, you've got your B, your bet, your T, your tet. What's the last letter?
Again.
Heh.
Is it a
Yeah.
he? Are you sure?
I checked.
There it is. It's not the he, it's the che. Why? Why is it the che and not the he?
The broken line.
There it is.
It's solid.
If you are solid on your line on the left-hand side here, if it connects, that's a che. If there's a break on that left-hand line that goes up, that's the he. It's the difference. He, break. Che, no break. This is the che. So you have the bet, the tet, and the che. There's your consonants. How about your vowels? We've got 2 of them. Let's see what our vowels are. You've got comments. If you got the little T below your consonant, that's the comments, although it is the first one, so pronunciation can be kind of fun. It can be comments at the. Now, you've also got your line. What's your line?
Patak.
Your pata. Your pata, which is your short A. So you've got a short A, O. How would you pronounce that for me? Give it to me, pronunciation.
Bata.
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 Bata. Bata.
Bata.
Remember that your final letter is going to be bata. Bata. If you're not spitting, you're missing the fun of it. Bata. Your screen should be getting a little wet with that one. A little spittle on your screen. You did a good job. Bata. That's the Hebrew strong. The check. All right. Let's see if I can give you a couple more. Again, these should be familiar, but there's a potential catch in here. Let's see if you find it. Give me your consonants. What's your first letter of your consonant there?
Bet.
There's your bet. It's got the dagesh lene. It's got the dot. So how's it pronounced?
B.
B.
Strong B. That's your bet. What's your next letter? It's a new one for you.
Cough.
That is your cough. Yes, that is your cough. Technically your K, but it's a Q-ish sound. It's pronounced sounds just like a K sound. It's same kind of sound. So it's cough, but it's your K sound. What's the last letter?
Resh.
Ooh, you caught it.
Resh.
Very good. That is the resh. Now, mind you, look how similar that looks to the delete. Here you have the D, here an adon, but here in this one, it's curved. That's the resh. The delete, hard right angle. The resh is curved, and it has a trill to it, so it's a ra, resh. Now, let's go back to our pronunciation of our vowels. There are 2 of them. We have the T and the line. Okay, what's our T? You've seen these before. Our T is what?
Long A.
Long A. What's our line?
Patak. Ano? Yeah.
Short A. Pata. So you have a long A, short A. So how do you pronounce this?
Car.
Bakar.
Bakar.
Car.
Bakar.
Bata. Basta.
Bakar.
No, Bakar. You're on the wrong page.
Bakar.
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 Okay, I'll give you another phone.
Isn't that Bakor?
Bakar.
Because that's this is the short. You've got the short A sound here underneath that cough. So you've got the short A, which is the pata.
Bakar. Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Fun one. This is going to get you searching just a little bit.
Long A. Bakar.
What's your first letter?
Bet.
Bet. Does it have the dot?
Yeah.
Dot.
Got your dagesh lene? It's a strong B sound. What's your next consonant?
Oh.
Sin.
The shin, but it's
Sin.
corrected. Shin.
It's a sin.
Ooh, why is it a sin? You're correct, but why?
The dot is on the left.
If the dot is on the left, it's an S sound. If the dot's on the right, what sound would it be?
SH.
SH.
Shin is an SH, correct. So this is the sin, not the shin. This is the sin. What's your final letter?
Resh.
That is a resh.
Okay.
Your vowel markers, there are two of them. You have side by side there. Your two vowel markers are identical. Do you remember what your vowel marker is right there?
It's an owl.
It's your comets, which is the long A. So, okay. Long A, comets. So how would you pronounce this?
Basar.
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 You should roll that
Basar.
out. Basar.
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 Now, FYI, just so you know, the little accent point right there is just telling you where the accent is in the word. So if you see it in the English, it is not pronounced basar or basar, it's basar. Your accent's on the basar.
Basar.
Okay, let me see if I can give you a couple more. Let's see. Ooh, I'll go down here.
Sa mga bata gusto doon, hambal ba? Sa mga bata gusto doon, hambal.
Do it again, man. Hey, nakatuon pa. You're still learning. It's exactly what you want. This, as silly as this sounds, let me ask you a question. Just even right now, looking at these words, do you feel yourself becoming more comfortable?
Yes.
A little bit.
Not dramatic, but let's compare this to 2 weeks ago when you first saw Hebrew.
E-H-E.
This is how you overcome your fear. Give me your first letter. This is, by the way, best word ever. My favorite word in Hebrew.
H-E.
Careful.
But it's
Careful, because
H.
it's not an H. What letter is that first letter?
Pep.
What is it?
Is it a CH?
It is a ha. It's a ja.
E.
It's not the ha, it's a ja. Because that's that. It's connected at the top. Remember, if you got that connection at the top on the left-hand side, you're a ha. It's a ja. What's the second letter?
Cha.
This is a new one for you. We haven't looked at this yet.
The S. The Samek.
That is your samic, correct. That O with a little tail at the top is how the samic looks in its type form. And then the final letter, you've seen this before.
Dalet.
That's a dalet. Because it's got a
Dalet.
hard right angle to it. That's a dalet. So you have the chet, the samic, and the dalet. Very good. Those are your three consonants. Your vowel are two of them and they're repeated. What's our vowel? Do you remember what the three dots are?
Sigaw.
That's your sigol. That is your short E. So it's a short E sound. So let's take a look. How would you pronounce it? How do you pronounce that? Chet, sigol, samic, sigol, dalit. How do you pronounce that?
Kesed. Kesed.
Kesed.
Spit more for me.
Kesed.
Chesed. Chesed. You got to get a little bit of that guttural going. The back of the throat sounds good. Chesed. Again, if your screen doesn't get a little splatter on it, you miss the point. Chesed. You do a little bit of, back off, clear away. You need to get a couple feet away from me when I say this word. That's what you want when you pronounce that letter. Chesed. This is the word grace. This is the Hebrew word for grace.
Grace.
This is how you get, this is when you find this word, this is where grace comes from. Chesed means grace. It's a great word. Okay?
Chesed.
Give you a couple more. What's the first letter? Easy. You've done this one lots of times now.
Bet? No.
Oh, close. It's close. Because wait a minute. We'll go back to, where's your bet here?
Got.
Ah, very good. What's the difference between the ba and the bet and the cough? What's the difference? That's the cough. Here's the bet. What's the difference? Do you see it?
Like a reverse C? I don't know.
They're very, very similar, by the way. Very similar. Almost
A cough.
identical. That's a
Oh.
cough. See the cough right there? Here's your bet. What's the difference?
The cuff is more rounded.
Correct. The bet has a little bit of an extension on the bottom. It goes a little bit, see a little bit of a more bigger foot on the bottom. If it goes beyond where the rise of the letter comes up, the bet juts out to the right. But in the cough, it does not. So that is the cough. Absolutely.
The cough is more like a reverse C.
It does look like a reverse C. It does.
Yes.
It does look more reverse C. Which is funny because what's the next letter?
Bet.
Exactly. There you go. See them side by side.
With a
There's your
B. Bet.
cough, and there's your bet. But stop for a minute. Does it have a dot?
No.
No dot. How's it pronounced?
V.
That's the V.
V.
It's the bet. If it doesn't have a dot, it has a V sound. And your final letter?
Dalit.
Dalit. So you have a cough, vet, dalit. Those are three consonants. You have two vowels. Let's take a look at what our vowels are. The first one, we've seen this very many times now. It's got that T, which is what?
A long A.
That's your long
Long
A. That's
A.
your comments. Now, what else do you have there? You have that, and then you also have
Sere.
the Sire, correct. What's the Sire sound?
Long E.
Long E. Correct. So pronounce it for me. Give me that letter. Give me the cough, comments, bet, Sire, dalit. How does that pronounced?
Abed.
Kabed.
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 Yeah,
Okay,
kabed.
Pastor Dave, hold on. I'm kind of confused. On the bet and bet, so if there's a dot in the middle, is that a letter B or a V?
So, on the bet, if there's a dot, B. On the bet, no dot, V. Va. Dot,
Victor?
be. No dot, ve.
Di pa ko ampot ambal. Di ba ampot ambal?
That's the Dagesh Lene, that's the Bagat Kefat letters. Those 6 letters
with
that
the-
have the dot in
So
them.
with the,
Kabed.
let me repeat it. So with the dot, it's like Bacolod,
Correct.
and without the dot, it's like
Kabed.
Victory?
Be like victory.
Okay.
So this is kaved.
This is Kabed.
Kabed. Kabed.
Or Kabed.
Or ved.
It would be
Kabed.
the VV sound. Kabed. Now,
Can you say that again, Pastor Dave? The
Kaved.
right way?
Kabed.
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 If,
Kabed.
if you did not have a dot in that cough, how would you pronounce it?
Ved.
Kabed.
Not kabed. You pronounce it cha, chaved. For your cough can be a C sound with a dot or a CH sound without the dot. Cha. That's the pronunciation of those Dagesh Lene letters. Those 6 letters that have the dot. That softens without the dot. It's hard with the dot. With the dot, cough. Without the dot, cha, cha. With the dot, bit. Without the dot, vit. The dot hardens it. Without the dot, it softens. Okay, let me give you like 3 more. Or maybe 4. I'll give you 4 more. Because these are good ones. Here we go again. What's your first letter? Familiar? You just had it.
It didn't move. There you go. Are we still in Kabed?
Nope. This one right here.
Cohen.
Cohen. What's the first letter?
Cut.
That's your cough. Yep.
Calf, I mean. Calf.
That's your cough. With a dot, which means how is it pronounced?
Calf.
K. That's your strong K. What's your next letter? Ooh, this is a new one for you.
Oh, there's the head.
There's the
Yeah, the
hat.
head.
How do you know it's a hat and not a che?
Broken.
It has a space.
Got the space. There's your H sound. There's your H. And then you've seen this before. What's your final letter there?
Final.
The
noon.
final noon.
That's your final noon. So you have the cough, which is that Dagesh Lene, it's the strong K. You've got the hat, and you've got the final noon. Let's look at our vowels. Ooh, what's our first vowel here? Got a dot above a letter. What is that called?
Ko.
Is that
Ko.
is
Ko.
that colon? Colon?
That is the defective holum.
Defect. Hold on.
What
Holum.
sound goes with the defective holum?
O.
Oh, yeah.
So we've got a
Ko.
defective holum.
Kohin.
Very good. And then you've got the two dots. Do you remember what the two dots are?
Siri?
That's your
Long
Siri,
E.
long E. So pronounce to me the bet,
Cherry.
defective
E.
holum, he,
E.
Siri, nun.
Long E.
How does that sound?
Kahin. Huh?
Ko-
Kahin.
Kohen.
Cohen.
Kohin.
Kohen.
Kohin.
Kohen.
Kohen, by the way, means priest. That is the word for priest. The Kohen Gadol is the high priest. So Kohen is priest.
Cohen Kadu.
Simple
Oh.
one. This one's easy.
Gadol means great, Master, no?
Great peace. or
Gadol
high
means
priest.
great.
Yeah.
Great fish. Great city. Gadol.
Gadol means great or high or
Large.
large. Yeah, it can have multiple meanings. Typically, when you read the word Kohen Gadol, it means the high priest. When this is Aaron the high priest, that phrase Aaron the high priest, Aaron Kohen Gadol would be Aaron the high priest. Kohen Gadol would be the Hebrew behind that. So easy, simple one. 3 letters. So simple. What's the first letter?
Lamed.
That is your Lamed. That is your L. Next letter. What's your next consonant?
Um,
Bob?
That is the Vav. That is absolutely the Vav. You are correct. And then your final one, you've gotten right into this before. You hit this last time. What's that Vav? That is the Tet. So it's the Lamed Vav Tet. It only has one vowel in it, but it's a tricky one. What vowel is that?
Shirik.
Now, if it was the Sharik, the dot would be in the middle of it.
Oh.
It's not a dot in the middle. It's a dot above the Vav.
Colon?
It's the
Kolom.
full holum.
Kolom.
So the full holum, by the way, means the Vav becomes silent. The Vav has no pronunciation here. It's a silent letter. So Lamed,
Kolom.
full holum, Tet. How would you pronounce that?
Kolom.
Lot.
Lot.
How did you get the O sound?
So go back up. Full holum. The full holum is if you have a Vav with a dot over it, the Vav becomes silent. The Vav has no pronunciation. And it takes on
This is the B. Okay.
an O sound like to. So it's lot.
Lot.
Now, I'm preferential to this one if I'm honest.
Can you say that again? How did it become silent? The V?
The V becomes silent. Remember, okay, we'll go back to this because this is good rules. Recall that we told you there are 3 letters, 3 consonants that depending on the word can become silent and act as a vowel placeholder. The he, the vav, and the yod. Okay, the he we have not gotten into yet. That's a deeper thing that we're going to talk about today. But the vav and the yod you have seen. When do the vav and the yod become silent? The yod can become silent if it's a sire yod. If a yod follows the sire, the 2 dots, the yod is not pronounced. It becomes silent. The vav becomes silent if it's got a dot over it. It becomes the full whole.
Ice cream.
So it becomes a silent sound. So that's how lot becomes lot. You don't pronounce the vav. It just becomes a placeholder for a vowel, which is the full whole and the O sound. So it becomes lot. Lamed, full holum, tet, lot.
So it's so how do you pronounce that, Pastor Dave? Lot or lot?
Lot.
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 Yeah, it's not the lot. We pronounce it lot. Like it's that's our accent that we bring into it. Lot. It's not lot. Lot. Lot would be the Hebrew.
Lot.
When you start getting into some of these words, they're kind of funny when you pronounce them in Hebrew. We're going to see this just right next to the very next word we're going to get to, next two words. When you have names that are very familiar to you, are going to be different. Do you know how you pronounce Samuel in Hebrew? It's very, very different. Samuel is not Samuel, it's Shmuel.
Shmuel.
The Hebrew of it is Shmuel. So there's differences and variations to some of these words as we brought them into our language and how we pronounce them. They're quite different in their Hebrew origins, which we can see. So look at this. I said I'm preferential to this one. Let's call it something familiar. What's the first letter?
Dalet.
Dalet. What's the next letter?
Vav.
And the last letter?
Still Dalet.
Dalet. So you have
Without
Dalet, Vav,
the
Dalet.
dot.
Okay. Couple of things. Notice the dot on the Dalet. What does that mean?
Strong D.
Strong D. Duh. What doesn't the last Dalet have?
Soft
Nothing.
D.
Soft D. So you do have a variation in the pronunciations of those Dalets. They're not the same. We'll get there in a minute how that sounds. Let's deal with our vowels first of all. You have some familiar vowels. This one right here, very familiar. That's our comets, right? That's our little T. So
That's the long A.
that's your long A sound. So now let's take a look at what the second one is. You have a dot below a vav. What is a dot below a vav?
I
Let's take a
forgot.
look. Go down our list. It's not the pata. It's not the comets. It's not the sigol. Not the sire. The sire yod. Stop.
Okay.
It's
Slides.
the hirit,
Hire.
which is
Hirit.
a short I sound.
Ano hirit? Ano?
Is in
Hirit.
Hid. E.
Hirit, ah?
So how do you pronounce dalet, comets, vav, hirik,
Yeah.
dalet? How do you pronounce that?
De.
David.
De. De. De.
Yeah.
Say David.
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 It's David. Kind of funny. It's similar sounding. It's not David. David is the English transliteration of it. The Hebrew is not David. It's David.
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 Harit David.
Harit David.
It would actually be Melech David, but that's a different issue. Melech is the Hebrew word for king. We'll give you one last one.
What?
Well, maybe we're running out of time, but
David.
this one's fun. I like this one to get into. This is neat for seeing the differentiation in the Hebrew pronunciation. What's the first letter?
Shin.
Shin.
Sin.
Which one is
Shin.
it?
Chin.
Shin.
It is the shin, because the dot's on the right. That is the shin. S-H. Shin. What's your
SH.
next letter?
Oh, sin.
Aleph.
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 Next letter?
It's not that.
Lamed. Lamed. El.
Lamad's the last one, but there's one between the Aleph and Lamed. What comes between the Aleph and Lamed?
Ma'am. Shorter.
Is it a fine? No. Fine siya. Dalet.
You have shin, Aleph, something that's there, and then Lamed is the last. What's the third letter?
Looks like a vav.
It is a
Final
vav.
ma'am.
It is the vav.
Looks
Don't
like a vav.
Don't look at the dots yet. The dots are your vowel markers. Ignore the dots. Just look at your consonants to start with. Shin, Aleph, Vav, Lamed. Those are your four
Vav.
consonants.
Vav.
Now, you've got
Hold on.
two vowel markers. You have your comets that it opens up with. But what's that second dot? This is a new one. We haven't seen this yet. So let's go down our vowel list.
Shuruk.
Oh, you're jumping ahead of me, but you're right at it. It is your. Well, you're good. No, you're good. You're right on this. Exactly what it is. It is your shurik.
Oh,
Because
shuruk. Ala.
notice in your shurik,
Shuruk.
your vav is silent. The vav is just a placeholder. It becomes silent. When you have that dot next to a vav, the vav doesn't have any pronunciation. It's just now becomes a vowel. So you have the shin, the aleph, the surik. The vav is silent. and a lamed. How would you pronounce that?
Saul.
Careful. Give me the first letter again.
Shin. Shaul.
Shaul.
Saul.
It's not Saul. It's Shaul. That is the name Saul. It's the same name, but the way it's pronounced in Hebrew is not Saul. It's pronounced Shaul.
Shaul.
Shaul. That's the pronunciation in the Hebrew. I like that. Kind of fun. Okay, do one last one. We're out of time. Last. It's a good word. What's your first letter?
Shin.
That's your shin. The dot's on the right-hand side. That's for sure the shin. Second letter.
Lamed.
That is your lamed. That is your L sound. Third letter.
Vav.
That is your vav. Final letter.
Ano?
That is a final
Shalom.
letter in a final form.
Final mem.
That is the final
Ah.
mem.
Final mem.
When you have that, because remember that I'll pick up here real quick so you can see it. When your mem is the final form, it looks like that box. So that is the final form, you're correct, of the mem.
Final mem.
Final name,
So you have letters shin, lamed, vav,
Nam.
final mem.
Final mem.
What are your vowels? You've got two of them. You've got your comets. That's very common. We've seen that many, many times. It's very, 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 very popular. So your first vowel, there's your comets. What's your second vowel, though?
Shalom.
Salom. Salom.
Shalom.
It is your
Full
full
column.
column, which is your O sound. Yep. As in to. So how would you pronounce this?
Shalom.
Alone.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Salom.
That's that peace. That's the word in Hebrew
Shalom.
for peace. Shabbat. Shalom.
Alone.
That is the Hebrew word for shalom. So,
Salom. Salom.
what I want you to do, here we go. Homework. Homework is good. I'm excited that you guys are starting to read this and practice this. This is good. You're feeding back and you're getting it, which is amazing. That's what I want to see. Some of you are quiet. I'm hoping you're doing it in your heads or silently with your microphones muted. But here's what you need to do. If you do this, if you practice this, it will remove your fear of Hebrew, and that's what we're after. Again, we're not trying to make you Hebrew scholars. We're not trying to say, hey, open up a Hebrew Bible and go for it. I mean, that's terrifying. I mean, that's not what we're after it yet. If you ever want to get there, God bless you. You're welcome to. But our goal is not so that you can read Hebrew. Our goal is that you're not afraid of Hebrew. That if there's a word, you're not looking at that and just shaking, going, that's just my brain just turned on. The way that happens is you want to do two things this week. You're going to write down your consonants and your vowels. I'm going to send you both. I'll send you the cheat sheets again. You're going to jot down for me your consonants and your vowels. Do each one 5 times. It'll take you 20 minutes. 20 minutes of just sitting down and going, write 5 times my consonants, write 5 times my vowels. It's just going to begin to build into your brain familiarity with their appearance. Number 2, what you're going to do, I'm going to send you this form. You're going to start working on exercise number 2. What's exercise number 2? It's going to give you Hebrew words. Write them down for me. Write down how you think they're to be pronounced. So you're going to go in and you're going to go Aleph, comets, vet, because there's no dot. And you're going to go, okay, what's this right here? What's my bata? Vet again. So what is this word? Ava. It's the word for dad. Ava. Okay, nice. Got it. Write that down for me. Same thing you've been doing. Don't try to do it all at once. Take it letter by letter. What's that first letter? Aleph. What's the next letter? Next consonant? Vet. What's the next letter there? That's the he. So Ava. And you have the 2 comets right there so that you can go A, V, A, H. Ava. That's what I want you to do. And that will build your familiarity. How many do you have to do? I would ask a minimum of 10. Go through 10 of them. There's 50 if you want to tackle them, depending on your time and familiarity and how far you want to go. Give me at least 10. So that you can begin to build familiarity with the Hebrew letters and vowels. Questions?
Not too bad.
Lapit na ampot ambal.
Not too bad as when we spelled it out per word. It was kind of over the head just talking about it.
But as you start to put it into practice, you go, okay. And you begin to build on it. You have to start, like I said, these first 3 weeks are really some of the most challenging because you're getting into these words that are just so foreign looking, these letters that are so different. And the idea of vowels being dots and dashes around the letters is just very unfamiliar to us. So you have to work through that process of becoming familiar with it, and that removes the intimidation factor.
Dumadrop out na ko gani, Tani.
Yeah.
None. Be patient. Trust the process. We're going to get you through this initial hurdle, and then we're going to start getting into what the fun part is we're looking at the Hebrew grammar. But if I jumped right into Hebrew grammar, the letters would just terrify you, and it would make you very hard to process. So we have to start with these letters, these words. Once you're familiar, then we can start getting into the good stuff. Sound good?
Di ba kabalo ako gamay ko sa guide ka, Pastor? Kunyara kang guide daw kabalo-balo ko gamay. Pero kung wala kang guide, hindi ko kabalo.
Kung baka kabuli-buli kita, bumasabog. That's normal na lang ina. And that's, but practice na lang. The more you practice, the more comfortable you're going to get. Ang tsura na lang sa mga Hebrew letters, mga Hebrew words. And that's going to make you not as scared, not as intimidated, not as overwhelmed as we begin to get into actually looking at the Hebrew texts. Sige?
Pastor Dave, do we have a copy of this booklet? I can't find it at the end of our IBS manual.
I'm going to send it all to you again today. I did send it to you, but it was quite a while back. So I need to send it to you again so it's not buried so far back. I'm going to send
It's not part of the IBS manual, right?
No, it's not part of the IBS manual. This is separate.
Okay. I've been looking for it at the end of the IBS manual.
This is its own separate. I did send it to you, but it was back buried a ways in the thread. I'm going to send it to you again. I'll give you a fresh copy today, as well as a listing. I'll give you the different Hebrew consonants. I'll give you the Hebrew consonants to be able to duplicate, and I'll give you also the Hebrew vowels to be able to duplicate so that you can practice writing those.
Well, probably we can just find it in the files, among the files. Is it the Simplified Hebrew PDF?
Yes, that is the PDF. But I'll send it to you again so it's fresh. It's easy enough to do.
Yeah, better. Thank you, Pastor Dave.
It's actually, I found it. It's just in the files, Pastor Dave.
It's there. It's sent a couple months back, but good to get a fresh copy so that you can just have it there to see, and that way you don't have to dig for it. It's right in front of you.
All right. Thank you.
All righty. Any other questions before I let you get going? Silence is a good answer.
Yeah.
Let's pray with you. Let you go. Lord, we thank you for this morning. We thank you for an opportunity to get in a little bit deeper, talk a little bit more about these grammatical bases, this churanalang, the structure, the look of the Hebrew letters and vowels. And Lord, we know that it's a lot to absorb initially. Lord, Father, we pray that we have an opportunity to overcome that intimidation factor, be familiarized with the look of the Hebrew, so we can start to get in and really enjoy breaking it down and seeing how the Hebrew works, how it functions. And so, Father, we just give our time to you, Father. We give our efforts to you and just pray that you, Lord, if need be, supernaturally give us the ability to be able to break down and comprehend your word. So thank you for it. We pray in Jesus' name we say, amen.